Good afternoon and welcome to the February 9th, 2026 meeting of the Orlando City Council. We're going to begin today with the invocation Pledge of Allegiance led today by Commissioner Tony Ortiz.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Let's bow our heads, if you will. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together today in service to our community. We're grateful for the responsibility entrusted to us and for the opportunity to serve with purpose and integrity the citizens of Orlando who look to us for leadership, transparency, and progress. Grant us the wisdom as we consider the matters before us. Give us discernment in our decisions, patience in our discussions, and humility in our leadership. Help us to listen thoughtfully, speak respectfully, and act in ways that honor the trust placed in us. Remind us to remain mindful of those most in need and those seeking guidance. Let our work today reflect the very best of our city and its community. May our decisions reflect compassion for every resident and a steadfast commitment to fostering a city where peace, dignity, and opportunity are available to all. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll and make a determination of quorum, please?
Commissioner Keane.
Here.
Commissioner Ortiz.
Here.
Commissioner Chapin. Here. Commissioner Sheehan. Here. Commissioner Rose. Commissioner Burns.
Here.
Mayor Dyer.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum with all members present.
Okay, first item of business is consideration of minutes from the January 26, 2026 Council and Agenda Review meetings. Motion by Commissioner Ortiz, second by Commissioner Sheehan. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, we don't have any awards and presentations and recognitions, so I am going to go right to the Mayor's update. And I would like to welcome the students from the UCF College of Nursing that are here today. Commissioner Ortiz, can you guess which ones they are?
You see it, they're the best.
Okay, the ones I think in the white jackets. But it's always great to host students who are looking to learn more about how local government works. We appreciate you being here. We thank you for that. And would you stand up and let us thank you, please? Thank you again. And this is the most we've ever had. Is this the whole class? Okay, I also want to recognize that it is Commissioner Rose's birthday coming up on February 17th, which is before we meet again. So if our resident soloist, Commissioner Ortiz, could help us out, we wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Commissioner Rose. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all.
Commissioner Burns was the only brave one to start that "how old are you" portion of that. Okay, a couple things from today's agenda that I just want to point out. We will vote to approve Rodney Williams as Director of Family Parks and Recreation, and Rodney has been with us for 21, where are you, Rodney? Over in the back corner. 21 years. He's played a leading role in ensuring that FPR has the programs and amenities to strengthen the quality of life for our residents. He has a great love for our community. I know that under his leadership, FPR will meet the needs of our residents of all ages, from the very youngest to the very old. So, Rodney, thank you for your commitment to our community. And then I just want to follow up on the workshop that we had this morning on our DTO 2.0. There are several big items that advance that agenda: an amendment to the DTO Outlook Plan, which guides everything that we do that's funded by the CRA, the $160 million bond issuance will be on to help with the construction of the improvements at Lake Eola, the canopy, the two-waying of our major streets in downtown, and transforming Church Street. So this is the first step in expanding the CRA also to add additional 47 acres around Camping World Stadium. None of that property has any taxable value to it, so it doesn't increase the funds going to the CRA, but it does allow us to improve the infrastructure and spend money from the CRA on that property. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a number of items that are acted upon through a single vote of council. We allow our council members an opportunity to comment on the consent agenda and update you on important happenings from their districts. We rotate the order that we do that, and Commissioner Ortiz is first up today.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, let's start by congratulating Rodney once again. We know you're going to do a great job. You have always done a great job, so you're going to just keep on going that route. On the evening of January the 28th, I attended the Mayor's Boards and Brews and spoke with residents about the value of serving on the City Advisory Board. Well, the commissioners were there too, enjoying the company of all these members. These boards allow residents to build partnerships, review programs, advise on policy, and help make sure decisions reflect the diverse voices of our community. So congratulations to all of them. And I like to see more people putting in, for these boards. There's a lot to be learned, but more so, there's more to give to our community, and learning about how government works is such an essential key to the success of our city, especially in these times of so much turmoil around the nation, right? So anyhow, thank you so much. On the afternoon of January 30th, I visited the Traffic Management Center at the Emergency Operations Center. Commissioner Tompkins was there also. For an open house tour, it was insightful to see behind the scenes how transportation systems are managed to improve traffic flow throughout our city, especially during emergency times. So I think we can do some tours for our citizens for them to see what kind of assets we have in the city. On the morning of January 31st, I had the opportunity to speak with students at a STEM talk at the Englewood Neighborhood Center. These conversations help inspire the next generation while building critical thinking, problem solving, and data skills that prepare students for high demand careers and strengthen our civics life. And I have to make a comment about this, because very often when we notice that crime goes down, we tend to congratulate the police department, which by all means, our police department is doing great things. But I tell you something, our programs, our kids' programs in our city are paramount, and they're top notch, and they're helping incredibly bring crime down by double digits. And the Kids Zone, the After School All Stars, and the involvement of all these kids and parents in our community center is tremendous. So whenever you get a chance, come by and visit some of our centers to see what great things are happening in the city of Orlando. We are a model for the rest of the nation. So last week I had the opportunity to go to Tallahassee and meet with some of our representatives up there. And very lightly, I'm going to touch on property taxes, because right now, as it stands, there's different proposals from the House floating around, but nothing is concrete yet. So the Senate may drop a proposal this afternoon. After speaking to a few members of the legislature and informing them about the importance of this revenue in terms of the benefits to our community, we've seen a different approach, and I think they're kind of standing back looking at what this does for our communities, which is very important to us. There's also a number of growth management legislations still brewing up in Tallahassee. I want to thank especially Kyle Shepard, who is representing us up in Tallahassee and doing a great job. So, and I had to make a comment. How many of you watched a game last night? Come on. I was really depressed after the game because I was rooting for the Patriots. But besides that, the mid-time show with Bad Bunny was something to really think about and reflect. As a Puerto Rican myself from Morovis, I'm a testimony that our roots don't stay on the island. We carry them with us in how we speak, how we love, and how we move through the world. That's why I'm proud of Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, better known to the world as Bad Bunny, for the way he continues to put Puerto Rico on a global stage. Not as a trend, not as a performance, but in a way that's real, authentic, grounded in who we are. I value the pride he expressed in his US citizenship, which is so important, because for many of us, that's our daily lived reality. My Puerto Rican identity and my American citizenship are not in conflict, they coexist. Both matter very much. Both are part of who I am. And I appreciate how Benito acknowledged and honor the countries that make us the Americas and our nation. We are powerful because of our diversity, because of our cultures, our histories, and the people who make us what we are. When someone with a global platform chooses to elevate entire communities, not just for themselves, it sends a powerful message. It reminds me that unity doesn't mean erasing differences. It means recognizing them, respecting them, and moving forward together. Today, I recognize a fellow Puerto Rican for honoring our roots and embracing the diversity that strengthens our continent and our nation. I just have to say that. Thank you.
Well said, Commissioners. Hey, Commissioner, I understand that streaker had more yardage than the Patriots did.
There was a streaker?
He had his shirt off.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Commissioner Chapin. Sorry.
Still taking direction here. I'd like to congratulate the Orlando Family Stage Theater for celebrating its 100-year anniversary last week. I was honored to join fellow community leaders and individuals who have helped make that theater a cherished part of Orlando's family lives for over a century. And I am proud of the meaningful work being done by the Orlando Family Stage right in the heart of District 3 over in Lock Haven. I look forward to 100 more impactful years. Had kind of a full circle moment because when I was a young man, I introduced Jacob Stewart, and then at that event, Jacob Stewart Jr. was introducing me. So you see in those, how time can travel pretty fast. I also enjoyed attending the 40th Annual Orlando Police Department Crime Prevention Awards. A special shout out to District 3 Block Captain of the Year, Suzanne Tinkler from Baldwin Park. Further appreciation for OPD for their continued partnership with residents to keep our city safe and thriving. Thank you to everyone who made the Black History exhibit in City Hall's Terrace Gallery possible. I truly enjoyed experiencing the important celebration of history and culture. I'd like to thank all of the city departments who worked hard to ensure residents remained safe and warm during last week's record-breaking cold temperatures, also working with area shelters and warming centers. I would like to give special kudos to the Orlando Utilities Commission. Mayor Dyer, I know you're on that board, for the proactive communication to ensure residents were prepared to conserve energy during those high demand peaks. Special shout out to the Orlando Police Department for rescuing 3 dogs that had been kept outside during those days. Once they realized the owner could not handle or care for the dogs, they reacted by relocating them to the Orange County Animal Services. And this Saturday, I had the opportunity to attend a youth basketball game between 2 of Rosemont Community Center teams. The game was held at Grand Avenue Community Center, Commissioner Burns, which is looking great. It was a packed house, and was glad to see OPD there, glad to see the fire department there, glad to see so many volunteers and residents there. And it was a buzzer beater win. The Rosemont Black team took the win. Sounds like a low score, and it was, but they're 6-minute running quarters, and these are 8 and 9-year-olds. So the score was 6-7. 6-7. And special shout out to one of the coaches, my legislative aide, Chris Durant, who came out victorious on the buzzer beater. Also last week, we officially opened a Jeff's Bagel run on East Colonial Drive. Excited to have that new addition to District 3, and grateful to the community partners, especially to the Lake Highland Prep Orchestra, who came out and played for those folks enjoying their hot bagels. Quickly, congratulations, Rodney Williams, as the new Director of Family Parks and Recs. I would like to let staff know I appreciate them working on the consent agenda item C34, working with the applicant, with the neighbors to improve that site plan, and adding some more fences and walls and landscaping to improve that plan. That was something that happened during the transition of the election, so I'm glad that we were able to kind of improve that plan. Also like to thank David Barillo, CRA, DDB, all the committees, DTO, and residents that have been involved in all the work that then went into and is going into all of the great things that are happening in downtown Orlando. So that's all I have. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Sheehan.
Thank you, Mayor, and I'd also like to recognize the District 4 Neighborhood Watch Block Captain of the Year, Tony Crabtree. She does a great job over in Lake Underhill, so we celebrated her last week. And condolences on your Patriots, Commissioner Ortiz. I love to hate the Patriots. I'm sorry. I had to have therapy when Tom Brady came to the Bucs because I love the Bucs. So it's just like it's been tough for me, but he won us a championship, so I forgive him. But anyway, it was a great game, and I just went to Puerto Rico 2 weeks ago. And yeah, and it was absolutely beautiful. And what I was so impressed was the art, the culture, the community, the celebration of community. And they are Americans, and they have been treated so poorly. And it's about time we started recognizing Puerto Rico. And I loved that Ricky Martin was finally able to sing in his native language, because again, when he was signed to his original contract, he wasn't able to sing in Spanish. And I just love that he was able to do that too. And Lady Gaga was singing in Spanish too. It was awesome. It was just great. So I loved it. So yay. So I'm glad you brought it up, but it was absolutely wonderful. I too would like to congratulate Rodney Williams. Rodney worked together a long time, and I'm sure you're going to do great in this role. And really look forward to working with you more closely. On the agenda today, sanitary sewer lining. You know what? It's not pretty, but it's important. So that's we're getting that contract today. Item 3B8, the use of district funds to support children's programs at Dr. Phillips Center. I think it's really important for us to be able to have children experience Dr. Phillips. As a child, I went to Severance Hall in Cleveland and watched the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra, and it changed my life. And I think it's so important for us to offer that to children in our community. So love to be able to participate, and glad that we're finally codifying that as a proper use of funds, since the legislature likes to kind of mess with us. But hey, I think it's a very appropriate use. On the agenda today, too, the easement agreement for Plaza Live. They need to begin their renovations. It's a wonderful amenity in my district at the corner of Bumby and Colonial. There are wonderful shows that are happening at Plaza Live, and they really, for the bigger shows that can't get at DPAC, we have so many great shows that happen at Plaza Live. This is actually going to allow them to move forward with their renovations. And on 3I, down Public Works, the Lake Arnold Permeable Pavement Project, this is along Strathmore and Dover Street, between Strathmore and Berwyn. The awesome thing about this is actually a pilot program to allow percolation to cleanse the runoff before it goes into our lakes. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I can't wait to see how it's going to work, and I hope we can implement this in other areas where we have lakes with roads right next to it. So with that, Mayor, that's all I had. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rose.
Good afternoon, everyone, Mayor and Commissioners and everyone in the audience. Thank you for being here. I want to say this. Some people will say anything to elevate themselves, but elevation without character is just noise. When words aren't backed by integrity, eventually the truth exposes the climb. Onto the agenda. I want to congratulate Rodney on his appointment to FBR Director. It's been a joy over the last decade working with you. Look forward to continue to provide wonderful services for our residents and the youth. I want to encourage everyone, if you have not been downstairs to visit the gallery, please stop by. It is amazing. I want to thank Flynn for her hard work on the gallery, but I also want to thank Marcia, Luis, the Office of Community Affairs, and the Black History Month Employee Committee for the great Black History Month long activities that we have taking place around the city. We have continued to honor the past. Recently, we renamed the baseball field at the Jackson Center after Jackie Robinson, who once played there. And we also just recently placed a history sign at Gilbert McQueen Park. For those that don't know, Private Gilbert McQueen was more than a soldier. He was a Jones High graduate, an Eagle Scout, and a mentor to Orlando's youth. In 1951, he became the first Orlando African American to fall in the Korean War. The park that now bears his name became a place for the community to gather, find joy, and celebrate his legacy. I also want to congratulate Orlando Family Stage on 100 years of empowering young people to be brave and empathetic through high-quality theatrical experiences. If you haven't been by to check out a play, make sure you do. Tiara's Parades of Hat is coming up next, and we will be taking some youth from the district to go see the play. I want to thank the Orlando Magic for their annual Black Business Summit. This is a great opportunity for the community to gather and kind of figure out where they're going with their businesses and endeavors that they'd like to do. I want to thank the Orlando Police Department for recognizing the residents and businesses who help keep our community safe. I want to congratulate Patricia Brown from Rock Lake on being named District 5's Block Captain, Ebony Nutrition on being named the Outstanding Organization of the Year, Timothy Jarquez as an Exemplary Student of the Year, Pastor Sharon Raleigh as the Distinguished Clergy of the Year, and Foodie Catering as the Law Enforcement Champion. I want to congratulate Orlando Fire Department Lieutenant Ron, how you say his name, last name, Chief? I don't want to chop it. Hugan? Okay. So Lieutenant Ron Hugan for being selected as the Florida Professional Firefighter of the Year. This prestigious award, presented annually by the Florida State Fire Marshal's Office and Governor Ron DeSantis, recognizes a professional firefighter who has exceeded the expected requirements of their position and demonstrated a sustained commitment to excellence in the fire service. On to a couple of things going on in the district. Tomorrow, please join the mayor and I and the community for our Black History Month Centennial Community Celebration at the Plaza Live at 5 p.m. We will not meet again until this comes, so mark your calendar for Immerse, February 20th to 22nd here downtown. This is an epic art experience throughout the entire downtown, and we even have some pieces right out front of City Hall. This Friday, I'm asking for volunteers to join me at 9 a.m. at Ivy Lane Park. We are installing the first Born Learning Trail. This is a partnership with Heart of Florida United Way. It's an opportunity to engage with our the young people that walk around the park. It's different activities, so like maybe ABCs, math, etc. But it's it's an educational opportunity at our parks. On to the agenda, 3D1, the amendment to Operation New Hope contract. For those that don't know, there is a great collaborative partnership taking place right now with our Community Violence Intervention Initiative as well as OPD. This has helped reduce shootings and violent crimes, so we are amending this agreement so that we continue to do our outreach. I want to thank Abe and the entire team for their great work with CBI. 3D5, the USTA agreement. This is an opportunity to take some of our after-school kids over to the tennis center so they can get exposure to tennis here in our community. 3D6, Youth Employment Services. So this is really important for us as it's an opportunity to provide 500 youth from the city ages 14 to 24 who reside in the Orlando Kids Zone so that they can have opportunity and hands-on experience with jobs. 3F1, the CDBG for the Christian Service Center. As you all know, the Christian Service Center serves as our hub for homeless services throughout the daytime and provide great resources to our community. So this is to help their build-in. 3H2, Law Enforcement Trust Fund, partnership with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD. So these funds will be used to support its goals, which include promoting crime prevention, community safety, impaired driving prevention, and providing victim services. I have lost a cousin to a drunk driver, so I know the importance of working on prevention with drunk driving in our community. And that is all I have for the agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Burns.
All right, thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon and welcome to all who are in attendance this afternoon. I'd like to also start off by saying congratulations to Rodney Williams. Rodney, we know that you've done a good job, and we know you will continue to do so, serving your team within Family Parks and Rec, but also the impact that you'll have to our community. So thank you for your continued work in that area. Also, Commissioner Ortiz mentioned the Board and Brews. While I didn't get a chance to attend, but I would like to also encourage our residents to consider serving on these boards. I started my service to the city serving on the Municipal Planning Board. So it was eye-opening, learned a lot about planning and everything, and that actually encouraged me years later to seek elected office. So again, serving on those boards, you learn a lot, but also you're helping to move our great city forward. So please consider that. Also, I'd like to recognize Ms. Susan Garcia, who was recognized as the Block Captain of the Year for District 6, and she's a resident of the Isles of Catalina community, one of the great communities in District 6. Also, my satellite office hours, next satellite office hours will be February 25th at the James R. Smith Center from 9 to 4. And this is a time where residents can come to meet with me outside of City Hall. So please just reach out to our office. We'll get you scheduled so we can spend a little time together. And then, Mayor, on the agenda, item 3D1, supportive of the amendment to Operation New Hope contract, which expands their contract to deliver more comprehensive and integrated services to crime prevention, combining outreach, mental health support, and job readiness services to reduce gun violence and promote stability within our community. So we're excited about expanding their contract. Also, 3D4, funding agreement between the Orlando Community Youth Trust and the Department of Children and Families. And this is, again, to support our student lead advocates that serve in various schools within the city. And they work with some of our youth who have been identified of needing some additional support, and really helps to move them through their educational experience onto a productive life. So proud to support that. And then the last one, Mayor, 3D6, the Youth Employment Services. Again, as Commissioner Rose mentioned, our ability to provide employment services for at least 500 of our youth right here in our city, I believe is very important. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, and Commissioner Keene.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I do want to welcome UCF medical students, since the UCF Medical School is in District 1, and I'm your neighbor. I live about 4 blocks away from the school, so very excited to see the folks here. I did watch that concert yesterday. There was a football game, I think, associated with it, but the concert was what I tuned into, and Commissioner Ortiz, thank you for those remarks. They were pretty good. I also want to, I guess we're 6 for 6, congratulating Rodney on his elevation, I guess, assuming the role of Director of Family Parks and Recreation. It does kind of lead into my next statement that next remark I want to make. Last week in District 1 at the Lake Nona Middle School, after regular school hours, I think it was about at 5 o'clock, during an after-school all-star program, one of the schools that participates in our city. City staff member reported suspicious activity to 911. Officers from the Orlando Police Department and other agencies responded and conducted a thorough search of the campus, and no threats were found. But I would like to commend the response of the Orlando Police and the fire departments, as well as other responding agencies. I would also like to recognize the response of the city's after-school all-star staff. They were on site with the children and took the first steps to protect those kids and ensure their safety. These departments trained for these scenarios. I think we had 20 or 30 different law enforcement officers respond, as well as the fire department. We hope it is never needed in real life. It's important to recognize how swift and unified the response was from the various city, county, and state agencies. Thankfully, last week, nothing was found, but still a very scary event. I'm proud of how our city staff, the young people and all involved were responded. City staff's going to follow up with all the stakeholders to review this incident, determine that if any safety protocols can be updated and or improved. And then I wanted to comment on the consent agenda 3C2. I'm pretty excited about the expansion of the U.S. Tennis Association National Campus in Lake Nona. It's going to further strengthen the region's reputation as a premier destination for sports and innovation. And this expansion will enhance world-class tennis facilities, support major tournaments like the NCAA tennis tournaments, and community program. And that's all I have, sir.
Do you have a motion, Commissioner?
Move the agenda.
I move
Consent agenda.
the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Keene, second by Commissioner Sheehan. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? And so the motion carries. Okay, the consent agenda has passed, so if you are here just for that, now would be a good time to make your way to the rotunda. You're invited to stay, but you don't have to.
But if you stay, you can't leave.
can never leave. Okay, without objection, we're going to recess the city council meeting and convene the CRA meeting. First four items are meeting minutes. So A is December 4th advisory board minutes. Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, B is October 20th, 2025 CRA meeting minutes. Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. C is November 10th CRA meeting minutes. Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. D is December 8th CRA meeting minutes. Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. E, I'm going to turn over to David.
All right. Thank you very much, Mayor, and good afternoon, Mayor and members of Council. Have a number of items on the CRA agenda today for your consideration. The first of which, or the new business item, is 4E. This is the CRA's Finding of Necessities report, which was complete by GAI in the context of looking at the expansion around Camping World Stadium that we discussed earlier today. With your approval, the context, what's happening is this is being forwarded to the county and other taxing authorities for their consideration. With their approval as well, it will come back for the final steps in creating of a resolution to add the area that I showcased earlier today to the downtown CRA, and I'm happy to address any questions.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, so the motion carries. Okay, on to F, David.
Item F, this is our DTO Outlook Part 3, the 2026 Plan Amendment. Again, referenced in our workshop earlier today, our plan amendment and our CRA plan is effectively what guides all of the work that the CRA does. It was last updated in 2023, and we wanted to make sure that we consistently update that to be to run in line with the various projects and programs that we see are furthering the CRA's redevelopment efforts. Again, I highlighted the context of the CRA plan in our earlier workshop. The context of this item is for it to be forwarded to MPB and other taxing authorities for their consideration, and then it will ultimately come back for its full adoption.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. 4G.
Thank you, Mayor. So G, this is a resolution supplementing Resolution 0908-10406 and authorizing the Community Redevelopment Agency issuance of tax increment revenue bonds of the Downtown District, Series 2026A. So earlier today, we discussed the DTO action plan and the series of initiatives that have been identified to really start taking steps to moving our downtown into the next stage in its evolution. With the issuance of these bonds, we discussed a host of different projects, everything from working on our roadways, our sidewalks, our civic spaces, but also affordable housing. So the issuing of these, we worked with both the city's financial advisor, PFM, as well as the chief financial officer to select Morgan Stanley. They were the best. We received 3 offers. They determined that theirs was the best. It's a flat interest rate of 4.16 for the life of the bonds. And I'm happy to address any questions.
Questions, discussion, a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, H.
Thank you, Mayor. Item H, this is Amendment 1 to the September 30th, 2013 loan agreement for the CRA and its contribution to Camping World Stadium in 2013. At that time, the CRA made a $21 million commitment to Camping World. The city loaned the CRA the funds in order to make that investment. We're looking to just re-amortize that, extend it by 3 years. What that does is it lowers the CRA's payment for the first 10, but does increase it for the following 3. We had no payment prior to that, but it also allows us to address the new debt service with the bonds I just referenced. The total cost to the CRA was about $715,000, but again, that is paid to the city, and I'm happy to address any questions.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, aye.
Item I, this is a DTO facade program funding agreement for 150 East Robinson Street. That's known as The View. They're looking to undergo some improvements as far as architectural lighting. So their total cost of their investment is just shy of $200,000. They qualified for just shy of $95,000 in funding through the CRA's facade program. It was recommended for approval on January 15th by the Facade Review Committee, and I'm happy to address any questions.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan.
I do have a question, Mayor.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay, question.
I know last year we approved Skyline. Is it a separate line item, or is it a line item within the facade improvements?
It's line item within the facade improvements.
cool.
It now qualifies for signature skyline lighting.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, Jay, David.
Thank you, Mayor. Item J, this is another DTO facade program funding agreement. This one in our North Quarter area for 906 North Orange Avenue. Have a new business coming into downtown. Very excited to have them. They're spending about $1.2 million in renovations to that property. Everything from new awnings, facade rehabilitation, signage, and adding a new storefront. They qualify for about $99,146 from the CRA. It also went to our Facade Review Committee on January 15th, and they made a recommendation for approval.
It's your district, Commissioner Chapin.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Chapin, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. K has been deleted from the agenda, so we will go to L.
So L, this is our GMP, our Guaranteed Maximum Price Contract with Whiting Turner Contracting Company for construction of the canopy. So earlier today, we discussed the context of the canopy, the kind of reimagining of that space and focusing on event space, but as well as transportation and mobility options, as well as pedestrian corridors. The total amount of this contract is $30 million. With approval, we anticipate breaking ground over the summer and then completing late next year. And I'm happy to address any questions.
Move it.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Chapin. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, and item M.
Item M, final item today. This is the second amendment in restated funding agreement between to the restated funding agreement between the City of Orlando, the Beacon at Creative Village Partners Ltd. And Creative Village Phase 2 Partners Ltd. And Beacon Condo Developers LLC. Effectively, the CRA had the opportunity to support construction of more affordable units in downtown Orlando. They're currently under construction. When the developer was working with the state, they did encourage them to potentially make that building more affordable than it previously was, and they could offer them some funding in order to do that. But it needed to come in compliance with our funding agreement as well. So what the developer is proposing to do is take the 9 120% units and then disperse those between the 30, 60, and 80% categories within the development. Number of units remains the same. It just delivers a more affordable product to our Paramore community. There's also a provision that allows both myself as well as our housing director to approve a slight extension if necessary, but we do not anticipate needing that. The project is on schedule, and we hope to be able to cut a ribbon by the end of the year.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. Any further business for the CRA?
There is not, Mayor.
Then we will stand adjourned as to the CRA, and we will reconvene the city council meeting. And David, you might as well stay right there. We will move to hearings, item 9A, and I will now open a public hearing concerning the proposed adoption of a resolution approving the issuance by the CRA of not to exceed $160 million of tax increment revenue bonds for the downtown CRA district. Notice of the hearing was published in the Orlando Sentinel on January 27th, 2026. David?
Yes, Mayor. So we worked with, as I mentioned before, PFM, the city's financial advisor, as well as our CFO, to release an RFA, request for offers, to issue about not to exceed $160 million in bond funding to complete the initial activation projects of our DTO action plan. We received 3 responses from that. One was JP Morgan, the other Morgan Stanley, the final from Truist. After evaluation by both our financial advisor as well as the CFO, the recommendation before you is to move forward with the Morgan Stanley offer. It provides a 4.16 interest rate for the life of the loan, which coincides with the life of the CRA. And I'm happy to address any questions. We have PFM available as well as the CFO.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Sheehan. I don't have any requests for public comment, so I'll close the public comment portion. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, Madam Clerk, you get to do a little bit here. We're going to move to hearings, ordinances on second reading. Let's start with 12A.
Ordinance number 2025-48, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the land development regulations of the Weehawhootie Plan Development Zoning District, such district being comprised of approximately 1,262 acres and generally located north of Moss Park Road, south of State Road 528, and east of State Road 417, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
Mayor, I move to approve this.
Motion by Commissioner Keene, second by Commissioner Chapin. I don't have any request for public participation. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, Madam Clerk, 12B.
Ordinance number 2026-1, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, vacating, closing, and abandoning approximately 91 feet of West Eliana Street, generally located east of CSX Railroad, south of West Michigan Street, west of Taylor Avenue, and north of West Pine Lock Avenue, and described in the plat of George Greenmore's subdivision, as recorded in Plat Book G, page 79, and in the Carlton Terrace plat, as recorded in Plat Book O, page 38, in the public records of Orange County, Florida, and comprised of 0.126 acres of land, more or less, providing for conditions of abandonment, the execution of affecting documents, severability, correction of scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Rose. We don't have any requests for public comment. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, Madam Clerk, let's move to ordinances on first reading. 13A.
Ordinance number 2026-2, an ordinance granting petition of Beachline South Residential LLC, establishing and naming the Dowden Central Community Development District pursuant to Chapter 190 Florida statutes, providing findings, describing the external boundaries, the functions and the powers of the district, designating 5 persons to serve as the initial members of the district's Board of Supervisors, providing a severability clause, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Keene, second by Commissioner Sheehan. I don't have any requests for public participation. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, that's the conclusion of our regularly scheduled items. Ed, could you get us ready for general appearance?